With an undefeated record of 28 fights, 22 knockouts, and 0 losses, Errol Spence is undeniably one of the best and most underrated boxers of our generation. He's currently the unified welterweight champion, and every time he steps in the ring, he shows speed, power, and a high fight IQ. In this video, we'll showcase 25 times that Errol the Truth Spence showed insane boxing ability. So let's take a look. 1. Spence vs. Ugas, Round 2. Errol Spence displayed incredible speed and power when he took on Yordenis Ugas in a welterweight title showdown. In Round 2, he displayed his ability to bob and weave punches while throwing body shots, which completely disoriented his opponent. 2. Spence vs. Porter, Round 1. Errol Spence made light work of his rival Shawn Porter, and the gap in skill was shown as early as Round 1. With just 30 seconds remaining in the first round, Errol landed a series of jabs to the head of Porter before switching things up with a right hook to the body. This combination showed Spence's patience and accuracy. 3. Spence vs. Porter, Round 11. Later in this fight, Spencer showed his insane power when he dropped Porter with a huge left hook. This shot had Porter out on his feet, and he barely made it back to his stool at the end of the round. 4. Spence vs. Vargas, Round 4. Spence took on Vargas pretty early in his career, but he didn't take long to dismantle the Mexican. In Round 4, Spence threw a spectacular combination of hooks to the body and straights to the head, which backed Vargas to the ropes. He quickly started to feel the speed and power of the American, and the referee was forced to jump in and call a stop to the contest. 5. Spence vs. Ugas, Round 10. Errol Spence put a beating on Ugas throughout their bout, but in Round 10, his power and punch accuracy proved too much. A series of punches caused Ugas's eye to close shut, with swelling and bruising. After a short doctor check, the fight was waved off, showing just how dangerous Spence's punches are. 6. Spence vs. Peterson, Round 3. In his bout against Lamont Peterson, Spence displayed a wide array of offensive and defensive skills. In Round 3, he threw a nasty left hook to Peterson's body before leaning back and evading a quick right counter in stunning fashion. 7. Spence vs. Peterson, Round 5. After a few back-and-forth rounds, Spence started to dominate this fight. And in Round 5, he found major success with a thunderous left hook that sent Peterson flying back to the canvas. Peterson was able to get up but was on shaky legs for the remainder of the round. 8. Spence vs. Peterson, Round 7. Following his success in Round 5, Spence smelled blood, and in Round 7, he unloaded the tank onto Lamont, landing hooks and straights at will. The damage was so bad that the doctors did not allow Peterson to continue when the bell chimed for Round 8. 9. Spence vs. Mikey Garcia, Round 9. This matchup was absolutely wild and made for a fight of the ages. However, throughout the course of the fight, Spence displayed his superior boxing skills, which led to a decision win. For instance, in Round 9, Spence landed a left hook, followed by a 1-2, and finished the combination with a left hook to the body, all without being hit once. It's a surprise Garcia didn't go down from this combo. 10. Spence vs. Brook, Round 5. Spence was able to make the seasoned veteran Kell Brook look like an amateur when he shared the ring with Errol Spence. In Round 5, Spence landed a stunning series of explosive hooks that staggered Brook and made him wobble around the ring. He was only saved by the bell. 11. Spence vs. Brook, Round 10. And in Round 10, Spence displayed his knockout power, putting Kell Brook down with a series of straight punches that landed directly on the Brit's temple. He was able to return to his feet, but Spence didn't let him survive for long. Just a round later, Brook took another knee, and the fight was waved off by the referee. 12. Spence vs. Danny Garcia. Spence put on a spectacular performance against Danny Garcia in his world title defense. Throughout the course of the bout, Spence used smart footwork to evade punches from Danny and land his own at tricky angles that Garcia couldn't defend against. He also used well-timed body punches to slow his opponent down and cruise to an uncontroversial victory. 13. Spence vs. Ocampo, Round 1. Spence was the first man to defeat Carlos Ocampo in the ring, and he did so in stunning fashion. Even in Round 1, Spence displayed some incredible boxing skills, landing a crushing body hook before quickly using his footwork to evade a counter, perfectly encapsulating the essence of the sweet science. 14. Spence vs. Ocampo, Round 1, Part 2. If you thought that Spence's first body hook was good in this round, then you should check out this next one. With just a few seconds to go in the round, Spence landed yet another left hook to the body of Ocampo. But this time, Ocampo couldn't recover and didn't beat the count, showing just how powerful Spence is. 15. Spence vs. Bundu, Round 6. In his bout against Bundu, Errol Spence displayed his insane ability to land body shots from every angle. In the opening stages of round 6, he hammered a powerful straight right-left hook combination to the body of Bundu before using a Philly shell guard to evade 2 counter shots. He then proceeded to knock down Bundu with a left uppercut. Seriously, he looked straight out of the Matrix in this round. 16. Spence vs. Castro Round 5. Spence took on Francisco Castro at the MGM Arena in Las Vegas, putting on a stunning performance. In the 5th round of the bout, Spence unloaded a chain of punches onto the face of Castro, who was unable to defend himself or find a counter. The onslaught caused the referee to step in and save Castro from receiving any more punishment. 17. Spence vs. Lardy Round 1. Emmanuel Lardy was an undefeated fighter before facing Errol Spence. However, the moment these two fighters stepped into the ring, it was clear that there was a big skill gap. In round 1, Spence landed a huge overhand which rocked Lardy, causing him to hold on to his opponent for dear life. He managed to recover, but by this point, the fight was only going in one direction. 18. Spence vs. Lardy Round 2. Spence proceeded to land another overhand right on Lardy in round 2. This was an absolutely perfect punch and displayed Spence's mastery of the fundamentals, even at a young age. 19. Spence vs. Jonathan Garcia Round 1. Spence faced Jonathan Garcia in his professional debut, making light work of the Puerto Rican. In round 1, Spence landed a perfect 3-punch combination on Garcia before using slick footwork to evade incoming counters. 19. Spence vs. Jonathan Garcia Round 3. In round 3, Spence landed 3 uppercuts in a row before sending his opponent to the canvas with a left hook. Garcia managed to get up to his feet, but the fight was stopped just moments later as Spence landed on his opponent at will. 20. Spence vs. Tavera Round 1. Jesus Tavera quickly regretted stepping in the ring with Errol Spence. In round 1, Spence worked the body with combinations of hooks and straights. This opened up the Mexican's defense upstairs, who was promptly smashed with a combination of hooks and straights, sending him to the canvas. The fight was waved off immediately. 21. Spence vs. Charles Round 1. Spence made quick work of Raymond Charles, dispatching him with a huge left hook in the very first round. This fight demonstrated one thing: Spence has a bomb in his left hand, ready to detonate at any moment. 22. Spence vs. Bolanos. Bolanos was yet another victim to fall to the speed, power, and precision of Errol Spence. In round 2, Spence peppered Bolanos with quick, snappy combinations to the head and body. Things got so bad that his corner retired him at the end of the round because they knew their fighter couldn't keep up with the speed and power of Errol. Spence vs. Oluch Round 4. Errol Spence displayed his inside fighting ability in his bout with Oluch. In round 4, Spence stood toe-to-toe with his opponent, landing short, snappy hooks to Oluch's body. He then smashed a left hand through the guard of Oluch, dropping him to the canvas. 24. Spence vs. Andrews Round 3. In round 3 of his tough fight against Andrews, Spence showed his ability to stay disciplined behind the jab and land accurate right hands at will. Round 3 really showed Spence's capabilities as a smart boxer. 25. Spence vs. Algieri Round 5. Errol landed an absolutely insane right hand in round 5 of his bout against Chris Algieri. The punch came from distance and literally forced Algieri to the other side of the ring. Errol's speed and power took out Algieri for good just moments later. So there are 25 times that Errol Spence showed insane boxing ability. Let us know your favorite Spence moments in the comments below. And before you go, be sure to jab that like button and give the bell icon a left hook. See you in the next video.